Alright, we're on episode 13. This episode starts off with the two gems, Howlite and Axonite, still in the cells beside each other, like still in the two cells beside. Of course, you guys know that. They had a conversation on what their ultimate fate would be. And after that was happening, Steven began to still find some ways of how to find some ways to help Diamond work on this and possibly cure her emotions. Steven had a job to do that like his big job is to make everyone feel better in a good way, like some good reasons and good thoughts of making them feel better. Steven, I doubt that he's been doing that, but he then has actually he has conversations with Diamond, like at least making her play games with her because it's fun to do, because since they're friends. I don't think it's because that he's trying to cheer her up from it, since she had recovered from her problems. And while they were playing chess still, they began to take out on each other, and Steven and Diamond had good times there. Meanwhile, back at prison, Howlite was asking Axonite a question that Axonite, are you sure that there is one day that Diamond will ever be overthrown? Like, I know we're giving up on that. You and I are giving up on that, like, for good. But the truth is, I feel bad for Diamond, and I just don't want anything to happen to her. And Axonite said, yes, I know that she will be okay for all eternity as living. And I know nothing will ever happen to her, and she will always strike down her enemies, like she had mostly done to us. So, Howlite, have you been thinking of more of your magic skills? Like, have you ever played things by yourself while I'm doing that in the cells? Howlite then said, yes, I do. Oh, yes, the gems do know. The gems do know that, all the gems on the planet, that they know that Diamond has at these private executions, and that's what the two gems are talking about. Like, their executions, and they're hoping that it is quick. Hopefully, that their deaths are quick is what they're talking about. That's also what that's. I don't know. That's the same thing with what they're saying. I don't. It doesn't have to be what they meant. They said those words actually. Yeah, and while that's happening, Diamond and Steven then were then have a conversation about how to deal with these other gems, and it was a normal conversation, like that last scene of episode 12 where Diamond was not worrying. She was just talking. She was just talking about it, and she is just talking about of how this is going to work, and how that how their eternal punishment would be. And Steven had no ideas about it, and he decided to leave it to her, since since she has better ideas than Steven. I mean, I'm not. That's not what I'm actually. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not bullying Steven over him not having good ideas. That's what Steven actually said. Diamond had secrets to keep while Steven was doing something else about signing in their death warrants and sending them to the guards while Steven was not looking. Or, I mean, the death warrants haven't been passed yet. And actually, that's when they're passed, yes. And then the guards would go to the cells of the guards went to the cells of Halite and Axonite, and they got out of their cells. They escorted themselves to the private execution room. They both made a speech to each other, and they both were like as best friends, like best buddy gems. And usually when two gems die, they grab their hands to each other while dying just to keep them company, and they both grab their hands to each other, and immediately, right before the blaster zapped on them, and they were gone. They died. And Steven didn't even know about this, and Diamond knew about this privately, and Diamond was telling Steven that she was saying, "Sorry, Steven, there's another quest you need to do. There's this gem named Penslandite. Another child of mine. She is, just born. She is a just born gem, and she's a newly born gem, like something that Diamond would say. And I would see if you would go and find her. Like, this is like the one really last quest you need to do by me for now. Because there's something that she does, and you will figure it out on your own." And Steven was saying, "What kind of quest?" And then that's where the episode ends. So that is it for the first 13 episodes of the second season. And see ya on episode 14.